My name is Rodrigo Jimenez, student number 144077. The following work consists on the analysis of the consumption patterns of the owners of the Wedge Community Co. By comparing 2014 with 2015, the company showed an increase of 7.5% in transactions, while, on the other hand, it presents a decrease in sales of 1.17%. This created an average spend per transaction of 39.19, which represents a decrease of 8.1%. This means that although there have been more transactions, every time an owner goes to the Wedge, it spends less money. We developed a method in order to create clusters which allowed us to make an in-depth analysis. The following were the steps we followed in order to analyze the data, organize it, search for clues, and find a solution to the stated problem. We firstly analyzed the big data, looking first for the years being owner, the historical and annual transactions and spendings, the historical average spending per transaction per owner. The 6 clusters were formed by cluster number 1, from people which spent in average from $0 to $1,000, cluster 2 from 1 to 3, cluster 3 from 3 to 6, cluster 4 from 6 to 13, cluster 5 from 13 to 40, and cluster 6 more than $40,000. Watching the results, it was clear that cluster 6 and 5 were wholesalers because of the amount of transactions and spendings. Cluster 4 was a midpoint between them and the regular owners. We saw later that the results would be quite similar if we kept only clusters 1, 2, and 3 for our analysis. For this reason, the second step was to investigate how these 3 groups behaved alone. This slide shows the graphic of the 3 clusters, number 1, 2, and 3. For these groups, we studied the spending patterns by day. Data shows how Sundays are the days in which owners spend the most, followed by Saturdays. Although spendings are quite regular during the week, weekends are really important for the Wedge economy, summing up 35% of the sales. We also made an investigation about the products these 3 clusters bought, being packaged grocery and produce, the first and the second products which were bought the most. As a conclusion, after having analyzed all the data, on the one hand, we recognized the importance of weekends in the spending patterns of clients, as well as the purchases of packaged grocery and produce. On the other hand, although the number of transactions increased, general spendings dropped down from 2014 to 2015. What in the first sight might have been seen as something positive, more sales, it is actually negative, as owners spend in average less each time they visit the Wedge community. We therefore conclude that the Wedge must reinforce sales during weekends by using marketing techniques that use this given knowledge in the pursuit of success. The objective should be to increase the average spent by owners each time they visit the Wedge.